What you see before you is the last of a long line of Jaguars of the XJ6 Series 3 classification. This particular model being a Sovereign Special Edition. Special because it has a sunroof, it has certain features that make it special. Of course, you can see now that it's of a concourse stature, gleaming and shining in all its glory. But I want to take you on a journey to dig deep beneath the skin of this vehicle and show you exactly how it got to this incredible stage. I'd like to introduce to you Bill Hodgson, fondly known as Spanners. He's the man behind this incredible transformation. So Bill, tell us a little of the history of this magnificent vehicle.
Well, this car came to life in Malcolm's possession some few years ago and was a very, very nice running example of the Jaguar Series 3. But unfortunately, a hose blew and the original engine was overheated, so it needed to be replaced. We managed to source a replacement engine in town, and that went in, but was never, as far as Malcolm and I were concerned, it was never really right. And in time it developed problems with a burnt valve, so we sorted that out in the cylinder head, and ultimately it started to leak coolant, and we realized this engine is inherently not a good one. So what Malcolm had were two Jaguars, the Sovereign with a bad engine and his original Sable XJ6 with a good engine. But the Sable had a bad transmission, this one had a good transmission. So the decision was taken to make one good car out of the two vehicles. So this vehicle now has its original transmission but with the Sovereign motor, and that's what we've got, and it's working reasonably well.
Thanks, Bill. Now I want to take you, as I said, on a journey, and the first thing I'll do is show you the driving force behind this car. So Bill, if you wouldn't mind popping the bonnet. And we'll look into the guts of this. Of course, before you can do anything with a car of this type, you have to take the bonnet off. That's the first major operation. Then, of course, you need to remove the water cooling, the radiator, the huge centrifugal fan that keeps the water cool, and extraneous other pieces of equipment such as the power steering, the air conditioning, the exhaust manifolds, and of course the inlet manifolds. And then to be able to lift that engine with the gearbox using a very strong crane or engine lifter, which you see there. Of course, to get the engine out is one thing, but to get the engine back in again is quite a different matter. Every engine that comes out of a car with the limited space that this vehicle has is always going to be a problem. It was no different in this case. Once we got the engine back in place, bolted it all up, connected everything together, swapped parts to make them match, we found one very disappointing result. When we started the engine, oil leaked. A common problem with Jaguars, so I've been told. But it turned out to be the engine oil cooler hoses that have a connection to the air filter, the oil filter assembly with a O-ring. To get this O-ring replaced with the engine in place and everything attached to it is quite a task. And Bill, in his usual rugged and dependable way, was able, after 6 attempts, to get this O-ring to fit, the hoses back on, and hopefully now no oil leaks. So we say farewell to the old Sable, which is now only good for wrecking. We say hello to the Sovereign, which is ready and raring to go. And we will be showing you further the wonderful characteristics of this magnificent vehicle in the future. But for now, it's Bill Hodgson and Malcolm Barrett signing off.